Everyone thought she was just sad. Tiffany Mann, the shy daughter of powerful people in the church world, would be sad and keep quiet. But at 2 a.m., a red live warning messed everything up. There is now a Tiffany Mann online. There was chaos on the internet. There were new cams. The screens turned on. Her eyes were swollen and her hair was all over the place. She held a small Bluetooth speaker like it was a gun, not because she was sad, but because she was mad. She said, "I've been quiet long enough." Then she pressed play. The person speaking took David Mann's words to heart. "Jackie never meant for Tamala to live. You knew that already. You also signed off. It all got frozen. A lot of comments came in. To be polite, that was her own dad who said that. Thank you, Lord. This is not good." Tiffany didn't move. She wasn't sick. They hurt her, gave her drugs that were bad for her, lies about being sick, filled out and signed forms for her medications behind her back. "Would you like to talk about your faith?" She held up a piece of paper in front of the TV. "This is the paper that Jackie signed. Drugs that are strong, not really having memory. My mom never got lost. They were lying to her and getting rid of her." After that, there was another sound clip. David didn't freak out. "If she wakes up and talks, we'll lose everything. We will keep the power if she doesn't say anything." Tiffany's voice stopped. "This is a church, right? But it was a business. People built a kingdom around how quiet she was. She was hurting. That was the end of the show. But it was too late. A lot of people loved the video on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Lots of hashtags came in. Use the hashtag David Mann skipped. Use the term to get justice for Tamala. Tag show Jackie right now. A nurse spoke. In a dark hospital room, "Tamala, they're fighting for you." Tamala's eyes twitched. She could hear them. She wasn't done yet. It was almost 2 a.m. when people across the country heard a quiet buzzing sound on their phones. Tiffany Mann is web-based now. In the world of religion, things stopped moving. No one thought Tamala Mann's daughter would go live at that time after weeks of pain, silence, and rumors. But when her messy, red-eyed face showed up on the screen, everyone knew this wasn't going to be normal. At first, she didn't say hello. There are no holy books, no worked-out lines. When she looked into the glass, her eyes were on fire. In her shaking hand, she held a small Bluetooth speaker. What did she say? "I've been quiet long enough. Want to know the truth? I know the truth. No more ads for churches. Take off your masks. I'm going to tell you what really happened to my mom." With one tap, she hit play. The internet was broken after that. David Mann's voice came through the speaker. He was her father. It was cold, and they didn't say sorry. "Jackie never meant for Tamala to live. You knew that already. You also signed off." What people said went crazy right away. "I'm sorry, what did he say? Hello, everyone. Is this true?" But Tiffany wasn't done yet. She stood her ground, and tears came to her eyes. They weren't tears of sadness, but tears of anger. Even though her voice was shaking, she was strong because she was mad. "You think our family was the best for the gospel? You think we're all God and praise God? Not at all. We had a name. There was a lot of value put on my mom, who was the heart of that business. Like a burden when she was sick. It was like a business plan when she was quiet. She seemed to be shaking as she held up a stack of papers. Here's the form for the medicine. Strong medicines to help you sleep. Went out for 3 weeks before my mom died. Dr. Jackie signed it. Don't think about what I said or what she said." She then played the second tape. This time, David's voice was even colder. "We still own the kingdom as long as she doesn't say anything. If she wakes up and talks, we'll lose everything." People all over the world had broken hearts. Shock turned into sickness. The things that people were seeing and hearing shocked a lot of them. It wasn't just crime. It was meant to happen. In gospel, the power couple didn't just break up. While Tamala was inside, they were setting the kingdom on fire. There was a big fight online over the words, "Lock him up." That poor woman gave him everything. Janet needs to get rid of her license right now. Tiffany's voice broke, but she didn't cry. She moved closer to the camera and whispered, "You let her fade. You tried to erase her even when she couldn't speak. But Dad, guess what? I could hear her. I'm using it." She stopped the live after that. Not a heads up. There is no finish. It's only dark. But the damage was done. Clips were everywhere in no time. Hollywood became more open. The Room with Shade, every day, gospel news. Sunrise had segments on CNN, BET, and other well-known networks. Twitter became known all over the world. Use the term to get justice for Tamala. Use the hashtag David Mann skipped. Jackie, it's your turn. Use a hashtag. At the same time, Tamala was lying still and quiet in a hospital bed. She had her eyes closed and her body was still weak. Still, things did happen at that time. As she watched the live show from the hallway, the nurse slowly turned the screen toward Tamala. She looked around as the sound played. I saw her finger move. She heard it. She heard everything. Doctors think it was just a lucky accident because of it. But Tiffany, she knew Our mom wasn't gone. She got into a fight from that bed too. Even when they were drunk and told lies, she still had control. When church fans went back online, they went crazy. People now understood David's praise of Tamela in a different way than they did before. Hollow, that is sneaky and smart. He taught about being loyal, now seen through as lying. He lost more than just his good looks. He was pulled out of heaven's front door. Churches were tearing down his work. No reservations were kept. Artists stopped working together all of a sudden. What's her name? Don't talk. Leave. Her business's Instagram account was taken down. Her LinkedIn profile was cleaned up. But Tiffany said this wasn't the end. On her story, she wrote, "I have more. Are you sure this is the only record? Hold on tight." After Tiffany's crazy Instagram live, everything was different the next morning. It was crazy for people who like gospel music, go to church often, and are interested in Black faith-based entertainment. Radio hosts skipped their Sunday shows to talk about what they were now calling the assassination of the Tamela Man gospel. Outside of Tamela's hospital, there were news cars lining the block. "We believed in you, David." Signs were held up in the street. "Tamala needed more. Get hold of Jackie right now." At the same time, Tiffany had stopped all communication. There are not any new posts. There are no stories. There were no shows. Some people thought she shouldn't talk. Some people were scared of the worst. After that, there was another blast. Someone who did not want to be named gave Hollywood Unlocked a full 17-minute phone call. It was linked to a fake phone that Tiffany is said to have found in Jackie's bathroom closet. What about that tape's voice? It's very clear. "Nathaniel, I should have stuck to the plan. The doctor was already bought off. Nicole, you had a job. Jackie, I'm not to blame. Tiffany was the first." I didn't need to trust either of them. The line moves. "Jackie, what should we do now?" "David." She was told to be quiet. The same way we dealt with Tamela, the computer stopped doing its job. People in the church who had stood up for David for decades were shocked and didn't say a word. Fans began putting David and Tamela Mann on fire on TikTok. Almost right away, all Christian radio stations took David's songs off their playlists. And Tiffany, she came back. This time, it's not on Instagram, it's in real life. There was no makeup, glam, or filters on her face when she walked into the First Holy Baptist Church in Houston. She was dressed in all black. She was being watched at all times. She sat down in the chair where her dad used to talk. She took a deep breath and then spoke. "My mom lived with the devil even though she sang about God." Everyone in the church let out a gasp. God was important to my family, my dad told many people. But what if the doors are locked? Getting lost scared him more than facing God. After that, her voice stopped. "Everyone saw how beautiful my mom was on stage, but you didn't see her after the show was over. While she cried on the bathroom floor, her hands were shaking so much that you couldn't see her. Jackie gave her some pills and told her they would help her sleep. The fake report wasn't shown to you. Alzheimer's, early start. My mom thought she was crazy, but she didn't. She was given poison. Every day, little by those who told her they loved her. Now I have to carry her words. This is what they did to stop it." A lot of people in the crowd were crying. "That poor child," yelled an old woman, and someone in the back fell to the ground in shock. Then Tiffany took a bottle out of her bag that said Tamela Mann on it. Timed. Dr. Jackie Lewis put her name on it. Tiffany held it up. This is what they gave her. Not sleeping pills, vitamins, or drugs strong enough to knock out a big man. Also, guess what? The doctor who gave it to you was last seen last night. Gone. Not a word, not an answer. Things got even worse in the media circus. CNN talked about it. NBC had a show called From Stage to Silence, The Fall of Gospel's Golden Couple. Then the hospital news came in. Tamela Mann woke up again. Even though her eyes were open, she wasn't fully awake. Tamela pushed back when Tiffany walked in with her hand in hers. The nurse asked Tamela in a soft voice, "Do you know who this is?" Tamela didn't answer. She spoke one word, "Tell you a lie." Tiffany cried. In the middle, she was on her knees, getting loud. "I'm sorry, Mom. I did my best. I didn't know. I missed seeing it because it was too late." From the distance, someone filmed the whole thing. It had 1 million views in 7 hours. David was not to be found, even though many people cried and prayed. He didn't write. He hadn't said anything. He hadn't been seen in public since Tiffany's live, until he was caught by the press at a gas station in Texas. Put your hat on. Putting on glasses, they yelled, "David, did you really say Tamela was never meant to live? Did you give your wife drugs for the empire?" David spoke one word out loud and then drove off quickly. "You have no idea what she did." All of a sudden, people started to wonder, what secret did Tamela have that was so important that she was willing to die to protect it? After that, the idea of a plot went off like a bomb. The comments turned into a war. The prescription form, David's voice, and Tiffany's teary face were all shown on the TikTok, X, and church news pages. Every second, a new group of important people replied. There was silence from the pastors, but the streets, a lot of people yelled. One woman sobbed into a microphone, "She prayed for me when I had cancer. She has to fight by herself now. It's not right. This isn't holy." Tiffany stood inside next to Tamila's bed. I'm shaking my fingers while I hold her hand. Mama, did you hear that? That's what he said. The tips of Tamila's fingers moved again. After that, her lips split open. Tiffany, not a word. Tiffany let out a gasp. She got down on her knees and grabbed her mom's hand. I'm here, Mom. I'm not leaving. I fought for you. I told everyone. She ran to the doctors to tell them what was wrong. Cameras outside the hospital caught the chaos. Safety moved quickly. Tiffany and her mom got lost in the elevator. Tamila had to take tests right away. They had no idea how she got better so quickly. Tiffany did know, though. Tamila took her medicine, but she still wasn't awake. She woke up after finally hearing the truth. Things were getting better when all of a sudden they got worse. This time, a message got through. Hey, this is Jackie. It was on TMZ in less than an hour. Jackie has a voicemail. What we had to do was done. Things were getting worse for her. She said that God told her to close the studio and talked a lot about demons in the house. If that's what VT did, do you think she would have kept our show? The name was safe. Tiffany heard it as she walked back and forth in the hospital hall. What it says. Jackie's voice. Tiffany spoke quickly and quietly. She's talking about my mom as if she were a liability. She got her phone. I have one more Instagram live. In less than 5 minutes, 180,000 people joined this time. Tiffany, please explain. It was against her will that you gave my mom drugs and you made up a fake sickness to keep the show going. Do you want her to go so you can look good? Now you say it's to keep the name safe. Jackie, I hope that every church you go to turns its back on you. As long as you're not religious, you're not holy, you look like the devil in heels. The comments blew up again. Expose her, Tiffany. She did it for a show. And then Tiffany dropped a bomb that no one expected. I talked to my mama's real doctor, the one they fired before bringing in Jackie's fake friend. He said Tamila showed no signs of dementia, none. But somehow, the second Jackie started signing her forms, she was on 6 different sedatives and couldn't remember her own lyrics. Tears streamed down Tiffany's face. She thought she was losing her mind, but it was y'all poisoning her. Slowly, quietly, until she couldn't even speak. Then she pulled out a photo from her pocket. It was a picture of her mother 2 weeks before the collapse. Eyes vibrant, smiling, full of life. And beside it, a screenshot of Tamila hooked to machines, barely alive. You did this, Tiffany whispered. And I swear to God, y'all not getting away with it. In Tamila's room, a miracle happened. She stood up. The doctors laughed out loud. This time, the machines kept beeping. In a whisper, Tamila asked, "Where is David?" She got a soft look from the nurse. Tiffany told on him, "He's not there anymore. You're safe now." Tamila shut her eyes once more, but this time she wasn't tired. There was peace. I'm back on the web. The Preaching Society was a mess. People who lead the band stepped up. Anonymous people who used to work for the man's production company said they were mistreated for years but couldn't say anything because they were bound by NDAs. Also, they said Tamila was slowly being shut out of all business choices. They tried to get rid of her. One person wrote, "I thought she was losing her mind, but now it all makes sense. A prayer eating will take place in Atlanta and another will be held in Houston. The idea of gospel perfection